Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi Kipabalokana Guru Ami Buruduki Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Muramore Tuma Bina Ke Dolayu Jagat Samsari Doya Kurasita Pati Advaita Gosai Tava Kripa Pane Pai Chaitanya Nita Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Muramore Tuma Bina Ke Dolayu Jagat Samsari Toya Kuramore Tuma Bina Ke Dolayu Jagat Samsari Aha Swarup Sanatana Rupa Raghunata Bata Yuga Shri Jiva Prabhu Lokanatha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Kuramore Tuma Bina Ke Dolayu Jagat Samsari Doya Kurasiya Acharya Prabhu Srinivasa Ramachandra Sangamaje Narottama Dasa Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Muramore Tuma Bina Ke Dolayu Jagat Samsari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Koro More Toma Vina Kedolayu Jagat Samsara Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. My dear Lord Chaitanya, please be merciful to me, because who can be merciful than your Lordship within these three worlds? Your incarnation is just to reclaim the conditioned souls, fallen souls, but I assure you that you will not find a greater fallen soul than me. Therefore, my claim is first. My dear Lord Nityananda, you are always joyful in spiritual bliss. Since you always appear very happy, I have come to you because I am most unhappy. If you kindly put your glance over me, then I may also become happy. My dear Advaita Prabhu, husband of Sita, you are so kind. Please be merciful to me. If you are kind to me, naturally Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda will also be kind to me. O Swarup Damodar, personal secretary of Lord Chaitanya, O six Goswamis, and O Shri Rupa Goswami, Shri Sanatan Goswami, Shri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Shri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, Shri Jiva Goswami, and Shri Raghunath Das Goswami, O Lokanath Goswami, my beloved spiritual master, Narottam Dasa also prays for your mercy. O Srinivasacharya, successor to the six Goswamis, please be merciful to me. Narottam Das always desires the company of Ramachandra Chakravarti. So this is a spiritual bhajan or holy chant that shows the deep gratitude that a devotee has for his spiritual preceptors, for his gurus. One doesn't only have one guru. One has one initiating guru, but one can have many instructing gurus. And a devotee always feels that he is shishya. He is the disciple, and always yearning to get instruction from senior devotees. And the most merciful Lord Chaitanya, he is called Namo Mahabodhanyaya Krishna Pramapadayate, Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya, Namne Guru Chuse Namaha. Lord Chaitanya is considered the most munificent, merciful, and generous incarnation of Krishna, because when Krishna came originally 5,000 years ago, he insisted that one should surrender unto him. But when he came back, when Krishna came back again, appearing as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he didn't ask anyone to surrender unto him. He just begged everyone, please chant Hare Krishna. And he didn't ask, what is your qualification? He opened up the treasure house of love of God to everyone, regardless of whether they had qualification or no. And he did this on the faith that the holy name of Krishna is so purifying that we know from history, even the worst type of people, like Valmiki Muni, who was a hunter, who killed animals halfway and then tortured them to death, he became a devotee by chanting the name of Lord Rama. So he had such faith in the holy name of the Lord that he didn't ask anyone to surrender to him. He asked people simply chant Hare Krishna. So that, unfortunately and fortunately, is the situation today. Most people are not interested in spirituality. In fact, the most prominent religion in the United States now is atheism. There are 23% of the American population is atheist. In England, 50% of the population is atheist. Those are unparalleled numbers. Why? Because more and more people are becoming atheistic due to modern education and due to the barrage of negative news every day. So, for example, previously in India, if we go back 40 years ago, there weren't many televisions. There were televisions maybe in the big cities, but in the villages there were very few or no televisions. But in order to addict the people to watching television, it's an addiction. It's like a drug. They very subtly introduced Ramayana and Mahabharata. And in order to see it, they televised it. You didn't have to go to a movie theater and pay money. And they also established like free televisions in villages, like 1 or 2 in a village. So, if you remember, I don't know if you remember or not, but all of India stopped with the new serial showing of the Mahabharata and the Ramayana. And taxi drivers would stop driving and people would take off an hour from work to watch the latest in the series of the Mahabharata and, of course, the Ramayana. And then little by little they started to mix in Bollywood movies, and then cricket, and then 24-hour news, and then political speeches, and then all kinds of nonsense. And now, no more Mahabharata and Ramayana, it's just Bollywood and Hollywood. You see how they weaned people to get addicted to watching the dumb tube, as I call it. And then, little by little, they took out anything spiritual and put all the nonsense in. And now people are basically addicted to watching television and watching nonsense all day long. So this, of course, is the great American strategy, how to spread democracy. Actually, Srila Prabhupada called it demon crazy. Not democracy, but demon crazy. Why? Because along with democracy comes all kinds of filth, pornography, and all kinds of nonsense programs and other things. And there are 2 basic worldviews that are taught in schools today to children. And those children eventually become adults. The first worldview is that everything is relative. There's no absolute. There's no God. There's no spiritual world. Everything is material. And number 2, and everything in the material world is relative, one thing to another. And there's no fixed absolute truth. Everything is fluid. Whatever you think, that is okay. Right? And then number 2, when you die, everything's over. There's no existence after death. So with those 2 fundamental principles, people become addicted to temporary sense gratification, and in order to have sustainable sense gratification, you have to make money. In order to make money, you have to compete with other people for jobs, and then companies compete with each other for dominance. And all of a sudden, the whole society changed. Like I was talking to one gentleman today who came to visit our farm in Redmond to see our cows and feed them. And he said, you know, my grandmother had a farm. She lived in a small village in Tamil Nadu. And my mother and father would take me to see my grandmother. And she would milk the cows, and the cows, she would call their names, and they would come running to her. And he said, it was such a nice life. I said, what happened? Well, my grandmother died, and my parents sold that farm, and we live in a big city. You see, this is not a isolated history. It's happened to most people in India. In 2 generations, people have gone from living idyllic and simple lives in villages, protecting cows, growing their own food, and drinking pure milk and so forth, to living in cities where there's environmental, contamination. There's a lot of tension, a lot of competition. Everyone's running around trying to make money, more money, more money, more money, more money, more money. And they have high blood pressure, they have cardiac problems, they have diabetes, they have so many problems, family problems, political problems, this thing, that thing. All of a sudden, the whole life changed from simple life in the country, in the village where the whole family is together, maybe 2-3 generations are living together. Now, they've sold their ancestral lands on which maybe 1,000 generations lived on that land. And all of a sudden they sold it because the kids are all IT people and they're all over the world and they're not interested in farming. And now the parents are living in these concrete buildings in Hyderabad and Chennai and different places. All of a sudden everything has changed. No more cows, no more green grass, no more pure milk, and eating all kinds of junk things and getting sick, and many car accidents and all kinds of problems and tension and severe competition. Everyone is competing for jobs, for money, and doing things that never happened before. And we won't go into all those bad things that are happening, but basically people are addicted to smoking, drinking, eating meat, and so forth. So how did that happen? It was a very subtle process. The British started it by taking over the educational system in India. And then the British taught the Indians how to organize society for material pleasures based on making money and competing. And little by little, they transformed the society. Actually, the British have done more destruction to India than the Muslims. And they did it by changing the culture from living in self-sufficient villages to living a dependent life in big cities based on artificial economy and severe type of competition. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could see how difficult it is for people to be Krishna conscious in this age. So what did he do? He said, okay, there are no rules. There's no preliminary rules. You don't have to be born in a Brahmin family. You don't have to be educated. You don't have to know Sanskrit. You simply chant Hare Krishna and regularly hear Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam spoken by genuine devotees. And no matter what your situation is, you might be living in a city, in a concrete cubicle, or you might be living in the country. Wherever you are, if you regularly chant and hear from devotees, you can attain perfection, spiritual perfection in this life. You do not have to be born in a Brahmin family. You do not have to know Sanskrit. You do not have to be some big intellectual. You simply be a sincere person. Learn how to offer your food to Krishna with love and devotion, simple vegetarian food, and chant Hare Krishna. You don't have to memorize the Vishnu Sahasranam, Sutram, the Lalita, Chalisa, this thing, that. You don't have to know all those things. You simply chant Hare Krishna. First of all, most people don't have time to learn all those things anymore. Okay? and usually they chant it so fast, nobody understands what it means, right? They're not focused on the meaning so much as just chanting it really quickly. So here, chanting Hare Krishna is very simple. It's a simple prayer, and you're asking Srimati Radharani to please be merciful to us, and Krishna to please bless us by protecting us so that we can always remain his servant in this world. So we're only asking for one thing, is please Krishna give us service and protect me so I can continue serving you. So that's a very simple message. You see, brevity is the essence of wit. In other words, when you explain the truth in simple, direct language, people can understand it. If you explain the truth with complicated language and in a circular way, nobody understands anything. In fact, nowadays they say, that man is brilliant. I didn't understand one word he said. I'm sure it was the truth. Well, if you understood what he said, you'd understand that he talked nonsense, right? But he used big words, right? So being able to explain directly what the truth is without obfuscating it, confusing it, or covering up with lofty language and big philosophical ideas. And that's what Hare Krishna is. So Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. O Srimati Radharani, O Krishna, please be merciful unto me. Protect me so I can always serve you. That's it, very simple. And that's what we need. Everybody needs protection. See? So you buy life insurance, and you buy car insurance, and you buy house insurance, and you buy dog insurance, and you buy this insurance and that insurance, because you want to be protected. But the best insurance, if Krishna protects you, no one can harm you. That's the best insurance. And we have examples of this. In the history, Krishna protected his devotees, like Prahlad Maharaj and Dhruva Maharaj and so forth. So he can protect us also if we simply chant the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna. So today we're going to hear a very interesting purport of a verse from Bhagavad Gita. And so you want to dim the lights so people can see? So this is a verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st canto, 7th chapter, 5th verse. And it says, Yaya samhoito jiva atmanam trigunatmakam paropi manute nartam tat kritam chabipadyate. And Sukadeva Goswami is speaking or to Maharaj Parikshit, and he says, due to the external energy, can you see it? Is it? Yeah. Due to the external energy, the living entity, although transcendental to the three modes of material nature, thinks of himself as a material product and thus undergoes the reactions of material miseries. So in simple language, it means that we were all originally with Krishna in the spiritual world. But due to having our limited free will, we chose to separate ourselves from God and try and become God's competitor in the material world. Krishna is the supreme controller, Ishvara, Parameshwara. So we try and become tiny controllers in the material world. We want to control houses, cars, people, businesses, countries, and so forth. And by controlling those things, we want to have material pleasures. And we get so involved and so attached to the material pleasures and material acquisitions or properties and things that we completely forget our relationship with God, and we think everything is material. This is called material life. And the biggest illusion that we have is identifying ourselves with this body. We were never this body. We have an eternal soul. But we become illusioned, and we believe, I am this body. So from that point on, everything that happens to the body affects us. It's just like if you have a car and you have an accident and you don't get hurt. Only your car gets damaged. But if you're very attached to the car, you become really angry. Even though you personally did not get hurt. But it's as if that car, the body of the car is your body, and because it got damaged, you get hurt. You see? So we get affected by things that we identify with that actually are not really who we are. Like houses, cars, 401ks, stocks, and country, and so forth. Like, for example, if you read in the newspaper that 40 Indian soldiers were massacred by a terrorist Muslim bomber from Pakistan. So you get hurt because you identify with your country, see? But actually, is it your country? You see, in 500 years ago, your country was ruled by Muslims, most of India, not all of it, but most of it. And the Muslims thought, this is our country, you see, and that you are citizens of a Muslim country, you see. So this whole idea, my country, my land, my body, my house, my car, these are all material things that we identify with, but it's not really us. So, like, for example, you say, this is my wife, or this is my husband. Then there's a divorce, and you marry someone else. And you say, that's not my wife anymore. This is my wife. You see. So, this false identification with something, like there's some people, they get married, divorced, 5, 10 times in their lifetime. So when they say, I love my wife, you can ask them, which one you're talking about? You got married 10 times, married and divorced 9 times, this is your 10th wife. Which one you're talking about? So this becoming attached to something we own or dominate, then whatever happens to that thing or that person, it affects us. Like, I know there's this famous story by a famous German writer, Thomas Mann, and it's about a lonely man. And eventually, the lonely man purchases a dog. And he's always with that dog. He feeds the dog, he bathes the dog, he takes the dog for a walk. His whole life is centered around the dog. But because previously in his life he was married, and then he and his wife divorced, and he felt devastated. So he's paranoid that his dog might leave him. So what does he do? He purposely injures the dog, breaks his leg, and then he nurses him. And now the dog is completely dependent on him. You see, this is like a psychological horror story. He loves the dog, but he's afraid the dog might leave him like his wife left him. So he purposely broke the leg of the dog, and now he has to nurse the dog every day. And the dog is totally dependent on him. You see, so Thomas Mann, he's a very famous German author, he wrote this book, this psychological type of book, about the relationship between the man and the dog. So this is our fear. But what is the fear? We're afraid to be alone. We're afraid to be lonely. We're afraid to be forlorn or sad always. And then we might do some crazy thing to make someone or something dependent on us. Like there are people nowadays, you read about it all the time, they kidnap a young girl, and they imprison the girl in their basement or some secret room in their house, and then they have children with that girl. They abuse the girl for years until she gets old enough and wise enough to run away, and then the person gets arrested or commits suicide. So why do people do such mean things like that? Well, it's this alienation. We left God, and we're looking for love in this world, but we're longing for that original love we had with God. But we purposely left God, and we come to this world to be like a God, to dominate, to be Ishwara, and we cannot really dominate anything. Eventually, we are all defeated in dominating. So, and there's competition, and all these things make us alienated from God, from ourselves, and eventually we become a prisoner of our own ignorance and our own lust, anger, and greed. So this verse is saying that we are all transcendental to sattva, rajas, and tamas. We are all spiritual beings. And this body that we have is just a temporary body. It's always changing. We have an eternal spiritual body, but it's covered now by matter. And because we identify with the temporary body, whatever happens to the temporary body affects us. So Srila Prabhupada explains, the root cause of suffering by the materialistic living beings is pointed out with remedial measures which are to be undertaken, and also the ultimate perfection to be gained. So this is how powerful one verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam is. It explains why people are suffering, and it points out the remedial measures people can take to end their suffering, and how to attain ultimate perfection in this lifetime. All this is mentioned in this particular verse. The living being is by constitution transcendental to material engagement, but he is now imprisoned by the external energy in the form of the material body, and therefore he thinks himself one of the material products. So many people today think, look, I'm just chemicals, and when I die, the chemicals dissipate and I don't exist anymore. Therefore, while I'm still living in this body, I have to get as much varied and exciting types of sense gratification while I'm still have the life air. And when I die, it's all over, it's all finished. And therefore, there's no God. I'm not responsible to anyone. There's no fixed morality. There's only my frenetic or my excited pursuit of material happiness, and when I die, it's all over. There's no such thing as God. There's no such thing as a judgment. There's no such thing as a spiritual world. You would be surprised how many people believe this today. Many, many, many people believe this, and many kids believe it because they're taught this in school. You might not know that, but this is what your kids are being taught. Therefore, by the time they're 12 or 13, they become a stranger in your house. They are convinced that religion is a waste of time. That and they're taught all kinds of rubbish concepts. So, therefore, and due to this unholy contact with the material energy, the pure spiritual entity suffers material miseries under the modes of material nature. What are the modes of material nature? Sattva, rajas, and tamas, goodness, passion, and ignorance. These are three types of influences on our life. And they force us to do things. Like, for example, let's say you're very attached to something, and someone steals it. And you become really angry, and you want to kill that person. So you went from having a peaceful life to, I want to kill somebody, you see. This is the influence of the modes of material nature. It's not, we don't understand how these modes are acting on us. Sometimes people commit murder, and after the trial is over and right before the sentencing, the judge asks the defendant, do you have anything to say? He said, I'm really sorry. I didn't realize what I was doing. I had temporary insanity, Judge. Therefore, you can't judge me. I was insane. So that's called the insanity plea. It hardly ever works, but sometimes it does work. They can get off murdering someone because they claim they were insane. But actually, one time there was a defendant who had killed someone, and his lawyer used the insanity plea. He said, Judge, my client was insane when he strangled his wife and threw her off the roof of a high-rise building. The judge said, really? He said, yes. So the judge ordered to have a psychological evaluation of the defendant. Right? So after 2 months of evaluation, the psychologist came to the court, and the judge said, Dr. So-and-so, can you tell us if this defendant is sane or insane? So the psychologist said, "Judge, you want me to tell the truth, or you want me to just make something up?" He said, No, tell us the truth. He said, "Judge, I'm a psychologist. I see people all the time, and I have to make an evaluation if they're sane or insane. But to tell you the truth, Judge, everybody in this world is insane." The judge said, "What?" He said, "Yes, it's just a question of degree, that's all." But they're all insane. He said, because they're running around chasing after temporary things as if this is the purpose of life, and they're avoiding understanding what is the real purpose of life. So that's the type of insanity, Judge. He said, "Okay, I understand, but can you tell me what's the degree of insanity of this person?" He said, "Well, he strangled his wife, stabbed her, and threw her off of a high-rise building. Obviously, he has severe insanity." He said, "Well, that's not good." He said, "Why?" He said, "If he was insane, then we cannot judge him because he was crazy. Therefore, we have to keep him in a hospital for the rest of his life. But if you tell me he's not insane, then we can judge him and hang him." Right? So you want to think over your decision. He said, "Okay, Judge, he's halfway insane." He said, "Thank you very much. Okay, the trial will proceed." You see, actually everyone is insane in this world. We all revolted against God. That's why we're in a world of severe competition, and we're running around in illusory pursuit of things that have no real meaning for us. It's like this. If I'm willing to die, like for example in World War I, between the Allies and the Germans, there was severe fighting, and for about 4 years the fighting was stuck. Like one side would charge and the other side would shoot the soldiers. Then the other side would charge and the other side would shoot the soldiers. So they stayed stuck like that for several years, 3-4 years, and no one was able to win the war, right? And so many men died just to gain a few hundred yards of land. If you read the history of World War I, you'll see it was a terrible war. They were using poisonous gas. They were using all kinds of things to kill each other, and no one actually was winning. The only reason the Allies won World War I is because the United States helped the Europeans, the English and the French, and the United States was not, the war was not on American land. Therefore, the United States was able to supply the British and the French and the others. Eventually, Germany got exhausted and they lost the war, right? But for about 3-4 years, the armies were facing each other, and no one was able to win. And they just kept killing each other. You see. So this is the situation in the material world today. You're seeing that there's fighting going on all over the world. There's fighting going on in families, right? You don't even have to have fighting between countries. You have fighting right in families themselves. And all for what? For just a little bit of land. Just like one friend of mine told me how his brother was trying to cheat him out of his inheritance. But his brother lived in India and he lived in the United States. So his brother was winning because he could bribe people all the time in India. You know how India is. So he said, "What should I do?" I said, "Just give your brother everything." He said, "What? But my father left me half." I said, "You gain in 1 year more than 10 times that half. So why are you worrying about it?" He said, "But it's my right." I said, "Look, your brother thinks that you are a rich American now. So he is convinced that you owe him. You're not going to change his mind. And he's in India all the time. He knows the local politicians. He knows he can bribe people. You're going to lose anyway. So, and what will you gain? You gain more with peace of mind in America in 1 year than that property, 10 times more than that property." So I said, "Just give it to him. If you give it to him, he'll leave you alone." So he agreed. He gave it to him. He stopped fighting with his brother, and brother doesn't talk to him. They didn't talk to each other for about 3-4 years. Now when they see each other, they hug each other. You say, So you see, people go crazy over little things, and they're willing to die for it. But what's the use of fighting like that, right? So here, Prabhupada explains, it is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita that the actual knowledge of the conditioned soul is now covered by ignorance. Thus, the theory that a living being is absolute, impersonal Brahman is refuted herein. This cannot be, because the living entity has its own way of thinking in its original, unconditional state. That means we're all persons. We have our own limited free will. We can either choose to follow God or reject God. And there's no validity to the idea that the ultimate state is impersonal, that you deny your personality and merge into some energy, like the Brahman effulgence. Because we are thinking people, and we are individuals. Our individuality cannot be denied. We can temporarily deny it, like you can take drugs and go to sleep and forget you're existing, but you'll wake up eventually and you realize you're still existing. See? So we cannot really kill our soul. Our soul is eternal and our soul is personal. And Krishna is also a person. So it says here, the present conditional state is due to the influence of the external energy, which means that the illusory energy takes the initiative while the Supreme Lord is aloof. The Lord does not desire that a living being be illusioned by external energy. The external energy is aware of this fact, but still she accepts a thankless task of keeping the forgotten soul under illusion by her bewildering influence. So now he's talking about Durga Mata, or Kali Ma. Kali Ma is the warden of the prison house. The prison house is this material world. We are actually prisoners. That's why we're being forced to do things. We're forced to eat, we're forced to go to the bathroom, we're forced to sleep, we're forced to wake up, we're forced to work, we're forced to do everything. But yet we claim we're independent, but we're not independent. Right? The Lord does not interfere with the task of Maya, or illusory energy, because such performances of the illusory energy are also necessary for the reformation of the conditioned soul. So, if we choose to separate ourselves from Krishna, which we all have done, then we're put under the influence of Durga Mata. And Durga means that she makes life very difficult for us. Why? It's just like the warden in a prison. The prison is not a 5-star hotel. It's a place that you are limited in severely. Your freedom is severely limited, and it's not actually a nice place. You know, I mean, the worst prison is an Indian prison. You know, I had a friend of mine who tried to smuggle gold through the Mumbai airport. He got caught, and they put him in an Indian jail. There were 50 prisoners in one room, and the toilet was a hole in the middle of the room. And there was no flushing. It just everything just stayed there, and it smelled horrible, and they were all stuck in there, and they had to eat there, they had to pass stool there, and they didn't even have beds. And fortunately, he was not an Indian. His parents were rather rich. They bribed the jailers and the police and everything, and he got out of the jail. And then they hired a private airplane and flew him out of India illegally, you see. So, and then he described what it was like being in that jail. He said, it was worse than hell. He said, I never will try to go back to India again. I will never try to smuggle something. I'm finished. You see. So, that's what Maya does. She makes the conditions in this world. First, she rewards us. People celebrate Navaratri, and they worship Kali Ma, Durga Mata, in her different 9 different manifestations. And she blesses them with material prosperity. But what you don't understand is slowly she'll start taking it away from you. And little by little, as you slowly keep losing these things, you go crazy. And you get in deep in anxiety and you suffer. This is what Durga Mata does. Now some people say, no, it's not possible. No, Mata is merciful. No, Mata is the prison warden. She's there to make you understand that you are making mistakes in life, and the suffering is the message that you're making the mistakes. So Krishna does not interfere with what Durga Mata is doing because she is working for him. So it says here, an affectionate father does not like his children to be chastised by another person. Yet he puts his disobedient children under the custody of a severe man just to bring them to order, just to discipline them. But the all-affectionate Almighty Father at the same time desires relief for the conditioned soul, relief from the clutches of the illusory energy. The king puts the disobedient citizens within the walls of a jail, but sometimes the king, desiring the prisoner's relief, personally goes there and pleads for reformation, and on his doing so, the prisoners are set free. Similarly, the Supreme Lord descends from his kingdom upon the kingdom of the illusory energy, or the material world, and personally gives relief in the form of the Bhagavad Gita, wherein he personally suggests that although the waves of the illusory energy are very stiff to overcome, one who surrenders unto the lotus feet of the Lord is set free by the order of the Supreme. This surrendering process is the remedial measure for getting relief from the bewildering waves of the illusory energy. The surrendering process is completed by the influence of association of devotees. The Lord has suggested, therefore, that by the influence of the speeches of saintly persons who have actually realized the Supreme, conditioned souls are engaged in his transcendental loving service. They get a taste for hearing about the Lord, and by such hearing only are they gradually elevated to the platform of respect, devotion, and attachment for the Lord. The whole thing is completed by the surrendering process. Herein also, the same suggestion is made by the Lord in his incarnation as Vyasadeva. This means that the conditioned souls are being reclaimed by the Lord both ways, namely, by the process of punishment, by the external energy of the Lord, and by himself as the spiritual master within and without. Within the heart of every living being, the Lord himself is the supersoul, Paramatma, and he becomes the spiritual master. And from without, he becomes the spiritual master in the shape of scriptures, saints, and the initiator spiritual master. So, this shows us why there's suffering in this world. It is purposely done to teach us that we have made mistakes, serious mistakes. And if we cannot figure out what those mistakes are, we should go to a bona fide devotee and learn this Bhagavad Gita and learn how the material nature is acting and how we can become free of the illusory suffering in this material world. So Krishna saves us in two ways. One, he lets Durga Mata make us suffer. And number two, he comes himself or he sends his devotees to teach us Bhagavad Gita and to train us how to chant Hare Krishna, how to offer our food, how to bow down to the Lord, and how to develop a taste for hearing the message of Krishna through Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. If we do this, we become liberated from the cycle of suffering, from repeated birth and death, from repeated changing of body, and we can go back to where we came from. We came from the spiritual world. We in a spiritual body. And no more taxes, no more politics, no more I love you, I hate you, no more wars, no more fighting over money, and so forth. So this is giving us an inside information of what's happening to us on a daily basis. A person who wakes up and says, that's it, I've had it, I don't want to suffer anymore. I don't want to be alone, I don't want to be fighting all the time, I don't want to be competing all the time. I want to have peace. Shanti. And I want, if there's peace, then I can have happiness. And if there's happiness, I can attain love. But right now, I don't have peace. There's very little happiness. And what I thought was love has turned into hate. Therefore, I'm bewildered. But now, you have an explanation here in this one verse to explain what the problem is, how to get out of the problem, and how to attain real love, happiness, and perfection in this life. Hare Krishna. Shrimad Bhagavatam Grantharaja Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Gaur Premanande Haribol. So today we have a play tonight. Our children are going to put on a play. And we want to thank our sponsors. Abhishek Doyle has given a $500 donation for our free vegetarian food truck, which goes out once and pretty soon twice a week feeding homeless people. We want to thank also Mahesh Darshana Dugikar on the occasion of Rohini's birthday. So if Rohini is here after the Arti, please come forward. And then Banu Gogineni on the occasion of Mahidar's birthday. So we have two birthdays, Rohini's and Mahidar's. Haribol. And today we have our Vedic children are going to have a play performance. Next week, next Sunday night, there's going to be an initiation ceremony of 9 devotees here. And it'll be a very momentous moment. And on May 17th is Narasingha Chaturdasi, or the appearance day of Lord Nrsingadev. On June 22nd, in the Redmond New Downtown Park, we have our vegetarian, vegan, raw food, and natural living festival. And on July 27th and 28th, in Redmond City Hall campus, we have our annual Ananda Mela Festival. Haribol. So please come. Now we have Arti, and afterwards the play by the children. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, oh Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hey, bolo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey, bolo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey bolo, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gita Bol, Hari Bol. Gita Gora, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gora Hari Bol, Gita Gora Hari Bol, Gita Gora Hari Bol. Jai Gaura Premanandi ki jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hey, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Bolo, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Bolo. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parvajika Chasta Tarasata Rishi Shrimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Harivilas Prabhu Ki Jai Prem Shikoho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai Shri Radha Krishna Prabhu Vinat Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Shri Mayapura Dham Ki Jai, Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai, Tulasi Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Ganga Maya Ki Jai, Jamuna Maya Ki Jai, Samaveda Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the Samal devotees, all glories to the Samal devotees, all glories to the Samal devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Guranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Namaste Narasimhaya Dayine Namaste Narasimhaya Dayine Namaste Narasimhaya Hiranyakashipu Bhakshar Shilatam Kanakalaye Hiranyakashipu Bhakshar Shilatam Kanakalaye Ito Nishinga Parato Nishinga Yato Yato Yamitato Nishinga Yato Yamitato Nishinga Pahe Nishinga Hidaye Nishinga Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Rama Namaste Narasimhaya Praladayane Hiranyakashipu Bhakshar Shilatam Kanakalaye Ito Nishinga Parato Nishinga Yato Yato Yamitato Nishinga Ito Nishinga Parato Nishinga Shilayamadin Saranam Ramade Pahe Nishinga Hidaye Nishinga Narashilamadin Saranam Ramade Pahe Tavakara Kamala Bade Nakam Adhuta Shinga Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanurina Eshavadina Nagariduba Jai Jagadisha Jaya Jagadesha Hare Tavakara Kamala Bade Nakam Adhuta Shinga Lalita Ranyakashipu Ranurena Keshavadita Nararirupa Jaya Jagadesha Hare Jaya Jagadesha Hare Jaya Jagadesha Hare Jaya Narasimhadev, Jaya Narasimhadev, Jaya Narasimhadev, Jaya Narasimhadev. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gora Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol. Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gora Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gora Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol. Nitai Gora Premanandi Ki Jai, Nrsimhadev Bhagavan Ki Jai, Gora Premanandi Hari Bol. I just want 2 drums. They knock everything off. Yeah, they're making beats. We're going to have a play now. We'll ask our teachers to announce the play.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, thank you so much for coming and waiting. I request all of you to remain silent. Hare Krishna, kids over there. Shh. Okay. I am Sharada Devi Dasi. Most of you know me as Srija or Sri Ranjani. I am one of the Vedic school teachers, one among them. So one among of many teachers. I am taking care of the Gopala class since 5 or maybe more, little more. And this class used to take care of 3 years to 5 years. But recently, because the strength kept on growing so much, we have to split the class. And there is a younger class than this, that is Mukunda class. And this Gopala class is from 4.5 to 5.5 years age kids. Hare Krishna, can you everybody please sit down? We're going to have a live recording as well. Okay. Thank you. And Vedic school, I want to take this as an opportunity and talk about little bit about our Vedic school. And Vedic school provides fun-filled strategies, such as when they learn shloka, they learn with an action, and when they learn the stories and they make a particular craft that suits to that character or that suits to that story. So I'm going to present that as well. And the overall goal is to pass on our culture to the kids, because that is what we are lacking all the time. So we forget our culture, we forget our scriptures, we forget our great characters. But this is the opportunity for the kids we can pass on the rich heritage of our Vedic culture and also the ancient wisdom of the scriptures. And for the detailed curriculum, you can always visit our temple website, and also you can talk to any one of our Vedic school teachers. They're glad to help. Okay, and this year's Gopala class theme was, we were discussing 12 Mahajans. So they had an opportunity to do the lot of crafts, which I'm going to show in the presentation. Hare Krishna, is the presentation ready, Prabhu? Kids, please be quiet. And this year's theme, as I mentioned already, it is 12 Mahajans, the 12 great devotees of the Lord. And we discussed about Lord Brahma, Narada Muni, and also Lord Shiva. And then we discussed about Bhishma Pitamaha so far. And last year we were discussing about the festivals and also different avatars of the Lord. And they learn a lot of moral values also from the scriptures. So some technical issues. We're going to present our presentation over there, but we're going to wait. have to wait for the presentation. No, we're gonna wait. Okay, I think in the meantime, I think the presentation is not ready yet. Presentation. No show is for the presentation. Okay, so it started. Okay, so Prabhu, move to the next slide. So that is the Vaman Dev. The kids did that craft activity last year. So whoever kids are seeing that, all the kids, you're going to see them today. Prabhu, please keep on moving. There are a couple of pictures. Yeah, that is Lord Jagannath craft that they did this year. And that is the Lord Narsimha mask that they were doing during the Lord Narsimha avatar craft. And those are already, now they are done. Okay. That is the Tulsi Maharani craft that they did last year too. And this is Lord Varaha that they are doing. And this year we did that Lord Brahma on the lotus flower that erupted from, that came from the Lord Vishnu on Garbhodaka ocean. So when they learn about these characters, they learn thoroughly with these crafts. Okay, move on, Prabhu. And that is Lord Shiva, one of the Mahajans. And that is Narada Muni, spaceman, transcendental spaceman. Okay. And this is Bhishma Pitamaha. These are our crafts that we did this year and the last year. Hope you all like those. Okay. And thank you. We're going to start our presentations. I just want to give a brief intro. So these conversations are picked up from Mahabharat, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Valmiki Ramayana. And the first presentation is happening with the Lord Brahma and Lord Krishna conversation at Draupadi Swayamvar. Okay? So we're going to start with Balaram and Krishna. They got that. Hold on, beta, your mic is not. It's on.
Hello.
Prabhu, do we have two portable mics? Look at the audience, beta. Look at the audience.
Brother, whom are you talking about? I'm surprised someone else can hit the target other than us. Arjuna, who died 12 years ago, could perform such a feat. Aren't they dead in wax house Lakshagre? My dear brother, the sons of Pandu did not burn to death. Those 5 brave warriors are the offsprings of sent here in order to reduce the burden of sins from the earth. They have been spending some time secretly. All 5 of them are here in the court, and Arjuna will hit the target. He's in the disguise of a Brahman.
Hari Bol, thank you. So this is the conversation happened during Draupadi Swayamvar, and the challenge, all you guys know, the Arjuna has to pierce the eye of the revolving fish. But by the time when Balram, Krishna and everybody were assembled, Balram was confused because he thought Arjuna was already dead in Lakshagruha, and he's asking Krishna. That was the dialogue. Okay. And the next one is, this one is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, and this conversation is between Draupadi and queens of Dwaraka. And we're going to have two queens, Mother Rukmini and also Mother Satyabhama. And this is a conversation talking to Draupadi. Go, one. Mataji, give the mic. Yeah, come. Chase the audience. Yeah, start better.
As my brother Rukmini attacked him, the Lord Shri Krishna shot arrows to break Rukmini's sword and shield into small pieces. Then the Lord Shri Krishna took his own sharp sword and prepared to kill Rukmini. Seeing that, I requested the Lord Shri Krishna to spare my brother's life. O Draupadi, when all the kings held their bows ready to assure that I would be presented to Shishupala, Lord Krishna, who puts the dust of his feet on the heads of invincible warriors who took me from their middle like a lion takes his prey from the middle of goats and sheep. May I always be allowed to worship those feet of Lord Krishna, the abode of Goddess Shri.
Hari Bol. She memorized such a big dialogue. And the last one is the lion, how Krishna takes away. She explains that how lion takes away lion takes away sheep. Krishna took away the Rukmini Devi from the middle of the war field. Hari Bol. Okay. Satyabhama.
My father, his heart is tormented by his brother's death, accused Lord Krishna of killing him. To remove the stain on his reputation, the Lord Krishna defeated the king of bears and took back the Samantaka jewel and gave it to my father. Fearing the consequence of his action, my father offered me to the Lord Krishna.
Thank you. Hari Bol. Thank you, beta. You can get down. Yeah. And pass on the mic to other person. And now the next conversation is also from Srimad Bhagavatam, and it is from Canto 8. And this is when King Bali is fixed upon his devotional service and surrendered to the Lord, and also he stood by the vow and truthfulness. Lord Vamana is pleased by the king's Bali devotional service and tolerance, and he spoke below words.
No. Dear Bali Maharaj, I am impressed by your great talents. You shall be king of the heavenly planets during the period of next Manu. Until that time, you shall live on the planet Sutala, free from mentally and bodily misery. Now you may go live there peacefully.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. This is also from Srimad Bhagavatam, and this is from Canto 1. This conversation is between Arjuna and Krishna at the battlefield, almost towards the end of the war, when Duryodhana got hit by Bhima. Ashwadhama could not bear the hitting to the Duryodhana, and he killed all the Upa Pandavas and left the camp. Arjuna chased towards Ashwadhama, and Ashwadhama, out of fear to protect himself, though he doesn't know how to retract the Brahmastra, he released Brahmastra. And this conversation is in continuation to that. Surya and Arya as Krishna and Arjuna. Continue.
Shining light spreading around. I do not know. Please. Oh Lord Partha, this is caused by Ashwatthama, son of Dronacharya. He released the Brahmastra but do not know how to retract it. So please release another Brahmastra to retract both of them.
Good job. And you should do the pradakshina. You do the pradakshina. Put it there. And now he is releasing Brahmastra. Okay, that's okay, release it. Good job. Release the Brahmastra. Do this. Good. Thank you, beta. Good. And the next conversation is also from Srimad Bhagavatam. It is from Canto 4. And this is Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva talking to Mother Sati Devi. Oh, sorry. Lord Vishnu. Yeah. I'm advanced. So, Prithu Maharaj. Lord Vishnu blessing King Prithu Maharaj. And this is also from Canto 4. And King Prithu, as you all know, he did 99 Ashwamedha Yagnas. And Lord Vishnu not only pleased by King Prithu's sacrifice, but also Prithu executed his occupational duties, unattached and only for the welfare of others. Lord Vishnu spoke as follows, addressing King Prithu.
My dear King Prithu, when one does his duties, express qualities, engage in my service, he becomes happy. You may ask for any blessing. I am satisfied with your behavior. You may ask for any blessing.
Good job. Very good. Oh. That's a great exit, Lord Vishnu. Thank you so much. And now Surya as Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva, this is also from Canto 4. And Mother Sati requests Lord Shiva's permission to attend the yagna that her father Daksha is conducting. Lord Shiva advises her not to attend the yagna and also mentions how Daksha is intoxicated with pride. Please listen to this conversation that Lord Shiva spoke in regards to the Daksha Prajapati. Hold it. Hold. Yeah. Keep it close. Keep it close. Hare Krishna. Hold on, beta. Mataji, is that mic on? Shh. Beta, get down. Yes, louder.
Oh my dear Sati Devi, although the 6 qualities, education, austerity, wealth, beauty, youth, and heritage are for the highly elevated, one who is proud of possessing them will become blind, and thus your father Daksha cannot appreciate the glories of great personalities because he's proud.
Good. So one who is proud, though he has many great qualities, that's what Lord Shiva considers him. It is useless. Okay. Hare Krishna. So the next conversation is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10. This is a popular conversation where Lord Krishna is chastising Kaliya serpent. Sorry for the technical issues. They have to fix the mic for each kid, so it's taking little long. But these kids are all just from 4.5 to 5.5 years. You can see how hard they worked memorizing such a beautiful dialogues, and they are boldly saying their dialogues. Yashwini, you are as Krishna. Start.
O serpent Kaliya, you may not remain in this. What?
Mic, put it up. Now, yeah. Louder.
O serpent Kaliya, you may not remain there any longer. Go back to the ocean immediately with your children and relatives. Out of fear of Garda, you left Lamakant Island to take shelter in the Yamuna River. I mark my friends on you no matter Garda won't hurt you or kill you.
Thank you. Thank you, Yashwini. So she chastised Kaliya serpent. Hare Krishna. Mataji, give everybody working mics. Yeah. Hare Krishna. So the Mother Earth is praying Lord Vishnu. You tell your dialogues.
Oh Lord Vishnu, please accept my obeisance. Oh God, I can't really do it.
Mataji, give her the mic. Give her the mic.
You take it. Siddhi.
That's okay, you're doing good.
Siddhi, you do so good in the classroom. Can you please do it again, beta? Siddhi, you do so good. Okay, we can try one more. No, he doesn't have dialogue here. Yeah. Okay, Hare Krishna. So now we're gonna Shaurya, you can get out.
One more time. Mataji, you go.
Let other persons come. Let other person come.
Relax. You do it. Nice you did. One time. Give her some time.
Okay. So Indra, are you ready? Ashika and Pranav, are you ready? Indra and Krishna. And this is also popular pastime where Indra does a bad thing where he drowns all the villagers of Govardhan, and now he's seeking the forgiveness. Ashika, start better.
Mataji, ask them to go forward. I'll make us go back. Make her just calm down. It is not ready. कितनी अच्छी हिंदी बोलती है?
Oh my dear Lord, when my sacrifice was disrupted, I became fiercely angry. A first fright, I tried to destroy all of your community with severe wind and wind. Please forgive me.
Krishna. Yeah, please forgive Krishna.
My dear is out of mercy. I stopped the sacrifice meant for you. He really is intoxicated by your opulence as a king of heaven. I always want you to remember me.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, better get down. Hare Krishna is the next participant, Bhakta Prahalad and Hiranyakashipu. Bhakta Prahalad and Hiranyakashipu. Gaurish and Vihan. Which one? Yeah. Mataji, don't put the head. Just give the microphones. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. He is Bhakta Prahalad Gaurish. Yeah, you can tell your dialogue. Oh my dear. Mataji, her mother can also come. Yeah. Mataji, come on to the stage and help him. You go there. Go with him. You go with him, Mata.
Oh my dear father. Actually his ear pain started, so he is upset. Okay, don't cry. Don't cry. Okay. बस सगळे छान क्लॅप करतायत गौरीसाठी छान क्लॅप करतायत. नको रडू. जाओ.
He gonna come back. He does really good in the class, but maybe he's feeling some ear pain or something now. Okay, that's fine, totally fine. Okay.
I'll come now.
Yeah. Okay, whoever is shy, they can come back later. Okay. Mother Siddhi. Mother Earth, please come. Mother Earth, Siddhi. Prabhu, don't send her name. Okay, tell your Siddhi, tell your dialogue. Let us not waste time. Whoever is ready, please come. Yeah. Hare Krishna, please be quiet. These kids worked really hard, and if you keep talking, we cannot hear them. Please respect that. Please be quiet.
Oh Lord Vishnu, please accept my obeisance to you. You once protected me in the form of great bull. You rescued me from the water in the bottom of the universe by carrying me on your tusk.
Hare Krishna. Now, Hiranyakashipu is here with his dialogue. Yes, Hiranyakashipu. Yes, tell your dialogue better.
Oh my dear son Prahlad, you told me that Vishnu is the most powerfulest and present everywhere. But where is he? If he's present everywhere, then why is he not in this pillar?
Yeah, Hari Bol. Yeah, good. And we have another Bhakta Prahalad, and with Lord Narsimha hiding inside the pillar. Not hiding, sorry. He's inside the pillar. Okay, better Bhakta Prahalad, start. Viraja, say it. I am Viraja. Say quickly.
Hare Krishna, my name is Viraja. Today I am going to act like Prahalada. This shloka is from Potana Bhagavatam.
Say. Amma, say. 1, 2, 3. Viraja, you already said it is from Potana Bhagavatam. Say it. 1, 2, 3. Indu. Close your eyes. Viraja, Anna is waiting in the pillar. Quickly. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. Say it, Viraja. Viraja, otherwise we'll have to go back. Arya Surya said it already. Quickly, 1, 2, 3. Hurry, go. Quickly. Hindu Galadi. Look at Amma, Nani. Look at Nani. See, Nani is over there. You say.
ಹಿಂದು ಕಲ್ತಂದನೇಟನಿ ಸಂದೇಹము వలదు చక్రి సర్వోత్తముందు అందందు వెతకిన అందందే కలదు దానవాగ్రని వింటే Prahlada tells Hiranyakashipu, O king of Rakshasas, don't doubt that Narayana is here but not there. Wherever you look, you will find him. But Hiranyakashipu does not believe Prahlada. He challenges him to see if he's in this pillar.
Go.
Okay. Haribo. Lord Narsimha Bhagwan ki jai.
I don't want to snake. No.
Ugram Viram Chapama.
Ugram Vidam Mahavishnum Jantam Saratomuksam Narasimham Pishanam Bhadram Vichum Mamaminam.
Mrityur Namami. Very nice. Thank you, Lord Narsimha. He is our special guest. He is brother of Viraja. He just came yesterday, right? Okay.
I want to say Narama Narasimha quickly.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Okay. Hare Krishna, thank you. He is our special guest, brother of Viraja. He just came yesterday from India. Okay. And Narada Muni and Dhruva Maharaj. This is also popular pastime from Srimad Bhagavatam. So please enjoy. I request everybody to please be quiet, especially kids in the front. Please be quiet. They are little kids. They are younger than you, and they cannot tell their dialogues if you keep talking. Okay. Hare Krishna. Yes. Mataji, did you give the microphone?
Ha.
Want me to hold it?
Louder. Dhruv, start.
Honored Brahmana, I want an exalted position not achieved by anybody, including my father and great-grandfather. Kindly advise me an honest path by which I can achieve my goal.
Narada Muni.
Right. Okay. Oh, my dear boy, I wish all good fortune for you. You should go to the bank of River Yamuna and meditate upon Supreme Personality in the forest named Madhuvana.
Yeah, you have to pray Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu in the forest named
Madhuvana.
Hari Bol.
Yeah.
Narayan.
Hello.
Hare Krishna. Now the conversations from Srimad Bhagavatam and Mahabharata are done, and we're going to start the popular Valmiki Ramayana conversations, and this will summarize almost until Vibhishan Sharanagati. So the first participants are Shreya and Havish as Queen Kaikeyi and King Dashrath. Yes. Yes, better keep it close. Mic, keep it close and say. Louder.
Oh, Ikea, I cannot lie even for a moment without seeing Rama, pirate Rama.
Mataji, we cannot hear his dialogue.
Once finish up,
Louder.
Oh, Queen,
Keep it close, Mataji.
O Queen Kaikeya, I cannot lie even for a moment without seeing Rama, my Rama, taking oath and promise to fulfill the desires. Please let me know what your desires. King Dasarada, who has great courage, who knows righteousness, and who has great equanimity of mind, is giving a boon to me. Let the celestials hear it for my sake. O King of Kings, let my son Bharata be coronated instead of Rama, and Rama has to go to Dandaka forest for 14 years.
Hare Krishna. So now Lord Rama consoling Mother Kausalya. Will any mother be happy when her son is going to the forest? Yes or no? No. So Mother Kausalya is requesting Lord Rama now. Please come on. Here.
Dear Rama, what is the use of my life?
Louder, beta.
What is the use of my life without you? I shall come with you to the forest like a weak cow behind its calf.
Louder. Tell your dialogue.
O Mother Kausalya, do not grieve. Take care of my father, the exile, and soon. Until my father Dashrath is alive, serve him well. Until roaming around in the forest for 14 years, I shall come and stand by your command.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. I please request once again to the kids. Please, we want to hear their dialogues. They memorize their dialogues for a long time, and this is their time to show. Please do not talk. Elderly parents also, please do not talk. Can you please do again, beta? You memorize such a nicely. Please do again. Yes, louder.
Dear Rama, what is the use of my life without you? I shall come with you to the forest like a weak cow behind its calf.
Yeah. Rama, tell your again. Dialogue again.
O Mother Kausalya, do not grieve. O Mother Kausalya, do not grieve. Take care of my father. Take care of my father, the exile, and soon. Until my father Dashrath is alive, serve him well. Until roaming around in the forest for 14 years, I shall come and stand by your command.
Okay. Thank you. Mata Krishna. Hare Krishna, please I request everybody to be quiet. If there are any crying kids, maybe you can take them in the back. Hari Bol. Thank you so much for understanding. And Prabhuji, if you can do presentations, we are showing the dialogues, but presentation is not there. Here. Okay. Okay. Hare Krishna. So now Mother Sita trying to convince Lord Rama to accompany her to the forest. Shrikari and Vibha. Tell your dialogue, beta.
Oh Sita, delicate when there are so many inconveniences in the forest. Large wild animals roam around freely in the forest. It's quite dangerous, so please stay in the palace. Protection under the feet of husband is better than being on a lofty building or being in a flying car moving through the sky. All the wild animals run away after seeing your form. O Rama, I shall take poison or fire or water for dying if you will not allow me to go with you to the forest.
Thank you. And now Lord Rama, Prince Bharat is trying to convince Lord Rama to come back to the Ayodhya as king. And Arnav is Rama and Pratik is Bharat.
Arnav, hold this properly like this. Hold it like this.
Tell your dialogue better.
O Bharata, for my sake, relieve the mighty king Dashrath from his vow and make mother and father happy. Go back to Ayodhya with Shatrughna and all the Brahmanas and give joy to all the people there.
Oh Rama, I'm a miracle. I cannot live without you. Let your sister and others crown you from here. Please wipe off my mother's guilt. Please protect from our sin.
Rama, one more.
Oh my dear brother Bharata, you are very much competent to rule the earth with your intellect and training. Take counsel of the ministers and get all the activities done, even if they are big. The light may go off the moon. The Himalayan mountains might shake off its nose, but I will never be false to my father's vow.
Wow, Hari Bol. Bharat.
Oh Rama, for 14 years I shall wear mantle robes of bark, leaves on fruits on roots, live outside the city, offering the ruling of the hymn to your sandals.
Thank you. Thank you, Arnav and Pratik. Thank you, beta. And now, Mother Sita attracted to the Maya deer. Is Tulsi here? Tulsi Devi as Sita Devi.
Oh Dasharatha's son, my dear Ram, look at this beautiful deer.
Try again. Try. Look at this beautiful deer. Tulsi, try again, beta. You already memorized it. These kids do so well in the class. Mataji, come on to the stage. Come on to the stage.
Try. You want to come again after some time? She'll come again.
Okay. Thank you, Sita Devi. So, and now, Hanuma and Mother Sita. Hanuma is assuring Mother Sita that Lord Rama will come, and she will give her Hanuma will show the ring to Mother Sita. Come on to the center, beta. Yes. Hari Bol. Look at the audience. Yes, start better.
Oh Mother Sita, Ram has sent me here as his messenger. My name is Hanuman. Look at this ring. It has Rama's name on it.
Oh. Mother Sita.
Oh Hanuma, when will my husband Rama come to see me after annihilation of the demons, killing of Ravana, and making the city of Lanka destroyed? Out of the time limit given to me for my survival, the 10th month is running, 2 more months are left. O Hanuma, the excellent of monkeys, my husband Rama will soon regain me without any doubt. If you're sent by Rama, who knows the nature of his self? You're worthy to taking me as well. Please hand this divine jewel to dear Rama.
Wow. Hari Bol. Hanuman ki jai. Mother Sita Devi ki jai. Thank you. And okay, Hare Krishna. So now it is a bit challenge because we'll have 4 kids on the stage. It is Vibhishan Sharanagati. I will give one microphone. They can share the mics. This is the last one, Vibhishan Sharanagati. We will have Lord Rama, Angad, and Jambavan, and Vibhishan. And Hanuma is absent today, but he was also part of this play, but he was absent today for some emergency. Vidyut. Louder, louder.
I am Vibhishana, leaving my brother Ravana, sons, wife, and I here to take refuge with Rama. He's a protector of all worlds. My dear associate, an efficient and intelligent person who desires well-being of his friends should properly advise them in difficult matters. Hence, shall you open it one by one? This prediction came from sinful Ram, who has enmity with you. That too, he is approaching you at a wrong place and time. He is to be suspected by all means. Oh my dear Lord Rama, let us examine Vibhishana. He has came from enemy true. He should be doubted. We cannot trust him so soon. By any means, I do not desert anyone who arrives with a friendly appearance, even that he has a defect. He who seeks refuge in me once, telling me I'm all yours, I shall give him assurance of safety against all types of things. This is my promise.
Yeah, that is Lord Rama's promise. Okay. So can you just scoot back? Now Sita Devi will tell her dialogue. But because as per our practice, they will stay back and all the kids will join. That is the plan. But let Sita Devi also tell her dialogue.
Oh Dasharatha son, my dear Ram, look at this beautiful deer. By way of its brilliance and by lust of its skin, I have not seen any deer like this so far. Please bring this deer to our hermitage. It will be our playthings.
So, this is the presentation from Ramayana and Mahabharata and Srimad Bhagavatam. And now they're going to recite the Bhagavad Gita shlokas all together. So, I request all the kids to be on the stage and you can sit down. Sit down. Kids, few kids sit down and somebody can stand. You can sit down. Sit down. Sit down, sit down, sit down. All parents, please sit down. All parents, please sit down. Sit down, baby. Sit down. Hare Krishna. Mine is gone. Prabhu, this microphone is done. Prabhu, this is... Sit here. Akhar, come here. So we have total 36 kids today. So please be patient. Athar, go back. Arnav, go back. Rishi, come in the front. Okay. Hare Krishna, I request all the parents to be please sit down so you can hear them well, and please be quiet, and I am giving the mic. Okay. Do we have more microphones? Okay, Paritranaya.
Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanataya sambhavami yuge yuge jagakarma jamedevyam evam yo veti tatvata tatvadeham punarjanma naiti mameti arjuna ye yatama prapadyante tadataiva bhajamyam mama vartamanu vartante manushya partha sarvasha chaturvanyam maya shreshtam gunakarma vibhagashaha tasya kartaram abhimam vidya kartaram avyayam tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadeshanti te jnanam jnanina tattvadarshana vidya vinaya sampane brahmane gavihastini sudijaiva swapake cha pandita samadashana yehi samsparshaja bhoga dukkano nayavate ayantavanta kaunteya nate shuramate buddha Bhogaram yajnatapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suradam sarvabhutanam anina hashrati Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, parents. Hare Krishna.
Why is the mic not working?
Better get down there. One sec. Sorry. Hare Krishna. One last request. I just want to express my gratitude to all the parents who helped in this program, and also parents, please be quiet. This is the last announcement. One small thing. This is all possible because we have such an amazing temple here, and under the guidance of our spiritual leader, His Grace Harivilas Prabhu. And I take this opportunity to express our sincere gratitude to him and all the devotees who are part of running this temple and maintaining this temple, and ultimate to Lord Radha Neela Madhav ki Jai.
I knew all the slokas.